Hello everyone, welcome to my YouTube video. My name is Natalia. I'm a money healer and a money activator, and on this channel we talk all about money, how to intentionally increase your income, how to pay off your debt, how to live in overflow, how to have consistent high cash months, how to manifest the exact amount of money you want on exact date you want, which by the way is going to be the topic for today's video. So if this is your vibe, make sure to subscribe and continue following me, continue watching me. Right, so I'm back. I need to admit that I took a pause for a couple of weeks because I was moving through certain resistance that I already shared with you in my previous videos. I had this huge fear of being seen and by a lot of more people, because what this would mean about my future life, how my life is going to change, but because being seen but a lot of more people means that a lot of more people are going to buy from you, and a lot of more people buying from you, it means that your income is going to increase drastically. So how this will change my life, this comfort about not knowing, right, how my life is going to look like after I receive and make all of this money, it was something that was blocking me and sabotaging me from going here and showing up on YouTube. So I'm being very honest with you, what I'm going through, and I know that sharing my experiences, especially in real time, is going to be helpful for you guys as well. So you can learn from my experience, and you can see if you relate, and you can see actually how all of this works, right? Because me not being consistent on YouTube, it's actually me being afraid of having a lot of money, right? Even though it doesn't mean that this money is going to come in tomorrow or today when I record the video, but it's going to be very soon, because I know that once I decide I'm going to be super successful on YouTube and I'm going to explode, I know this will happen in very short amounts of time. But also I needed to clean all the resistance and everything that was getting on the way, so I can have crystal clean energy, and I can be okay with a lot of people watching me and a lot of people buying from me, and I can be okay with being famous, and I can be okay with having a lot of people in my containers and making all of this money and having this lifestyle. So I first needed to work on that. And now when I worked on that, when my energy is crystal clear, I have this fire to come here and to talk with you, to spend time with you, to share my knowledge, to share the downloads, the codes that I know that are going to be super beneficial for you too. So today, one of today's topic is so juicy, it's so fucking magnetic, and I can't wait to talk with you about today. We're going to talk about how to manifest the exact amount of money you want on exact date you want. I'll be also recording finished recording the last video, the lesson number 6 for my course, Intentionally Increase Your Income. So this is the reason why I don't have a lot of voice and I sound like this, and I need to drink a lot of water. But this fire, this passion, it's here, and I can't wait to dive deeper with you into all of this. Okay, so I have manifested exact amounts of money, in cents, on exact date I wanted, or on the day after the date I wanted, so many times. And to be honest, I don't know a lot of people who can do it, right? I don't know a lot of people who can do this, and I've done this with ease. It wasn't that I was exhausting myself, it wasn't that I was working hard, it wasn't that I was crying all day or doing it or working harder all day so I can make it happen. It just happened from a pure decision, pure energy, being in an energetic alignment, right? And yeah, it's just pure decision. And I'm going to share with you a couple of my experiences. So the first time I have done it is because I needed 300 euros to pay the bills for the government. I was really in lack mentality, and I was making zero for months. And then there was a need, right? And for a lot of the times, I've been manifesting money through the need, right? I need money for this, I need money for that. And when it comes to need, I could call in money like this. But this is the topic for the whole, this is the whole another conversation, okay? So we are just going to focus on manifesting exact amounts of money on exact date. And I can say that I'm an expert at this, right? Like, I needed like 300 euros. I needed 300 euros on a specific date. Like, there was a deadline. And I said to myself, like, okay, on 30 of April or May, it was something like this, I'm going to make 300 euros and I'm not available for anything else. And this was actually like my first time of me practicing fate, me practicing staying open, me actually realizing and learning what fate is and what trust is. Because the words like fate and trust, like, they've been so overused, like, it's incredible. Like, the people use it so many times. It's the same with self-love, but a lot of people don't even understand what this really means. Like, they don't understand. So this was the experience where I really learned what trust and what faith really is, because I couldn't see any evidences. Okay, I decided, but I was in this place where, okay, I know it's possible. I just need one person who's going to buy my single session, plus I think it was 5-day Voxer, something like that, for 300 euros. And I could get energetically behind this. I've been making 0 for months, but of course it will be like a little bit like stretch, but yeah, I can get energetically behind having one person who's going to buy my 300 euros offer, right? So yeah, I was energetically there, and I explain all in the details, like how to get energetically behind the numbers that you want inside of my course, intentionally increase your income in the next 30 days. So if you want to master this ability, make sure to check my course in the description, okay? Okay, so I decided, and I was energetically behind it, okay, 300 euros. I have 2 weeks to make 300 euros, and I've been making 0 like for months, okay? I can do it, I know, it's possible, I know. I have the offer, just one client, like, I could get energetically behind making 300, euros in the next 15 days. I couldn't get behind, okay, let's make it today. I just couldn't get behind. Like, if I decide that I want to make 300 euros, like, or even 500 euros today, I could call it in like this. But before, when I was just starting, I couldn't. And I thought, okay, 2 weeks, it will be enough for me. And I was like selling regularly. I was doing my thing, the thing that I usually do, like selling on Instagram. If you have business, you know how this works, right? If you are a business owner, entrepreneur, creator, you know how this works. So I didn't change my strategy. I haven't done anything differently. I was doing everything the same, and no one was reaching out, like, literally. No one was reaching out, and I didn't have any evidences. And I knew now this is my time to really like start practicing faith, right? And I also noticed how I start to go into doubt, right? Because when you start to lean into doubt, when you start to go into doubt, this is when you start to introduce the resistance, and this is when you start closing yourself, right? So you're going to feel in your body when you're opening yourself and when you're closing yourself. And I could feel that my energy from being open, like, this is possible, this is available, goes into lack and into doubt. And I was doubting that it's going to happen, because our ego is the one who needs to see the evidences, okay? Our ego is the one who needs to see the evidences that it's working, that it's going to happen, that people are watching, that there is an interest, in order to stay open. And this is why a lot of people like kind of fail, and this is what trust is all about, because it's easy to stay open, right? When there are evidences that someone is interested, people are inquiring, people are DMing you, right? Like, something is going on, right? Like, so it's easy to stay open because you have the evidences, you have the proofs. Like, this is how we normal humans are usually like working if we are listening our ego. But this was really for me to like, for the first time, to really like to practice faith and practice trust, because I wasn't there yet energetically. So it wasn't easy for me to stay open, like, because, I've been making 0 for months, and this was like a really like challenging thing for me. And I just could see how I'm about to close myself, how I'm about to doubt, and I could see and I could feel this feeling. And then I knew that I don't want to close myself. I don't want to close myself. And then I just lean into faith. I lean into faith to God, because here's the thing. I still didn't have the personal power that I have right now. And of course, God is always here for me, and I'm connected with God, not just when I'm manifesting something. I'm connected with God all the time because I feel worthy and supported and, you know, loved, and I'm not alone. But this is the whole another conversation. But especially in that way, I said, okay, God, you know what? Like, I don't fucking know how it's going to happen. Like, I was being very honest, like, with the God, like, God, I don't fucking know how it's going to happen. I'm currently just with this state of consciousness, with a human, I don't see it. And I know that if I worry how it's going to happen, this is what our ego does. It's worrying how it's going to happen, who is going to be, when it's going to be, what if it doesn't happen? You know, especially specifically, you have all of that resistance if there is a deadline, you know, like, it's not just about, oh, let's make 1,000 euros a day and, you know, I have a lot of money and yeah, who cares, right? But this was like, I don't have any money at all. I've been making $0 for months. Like, I need these 300 euros because there is a deadline and I'm going to be in trouble if I don't pay this. So of course there is a lot of emotional charge, there is a lot of resistance, there is a lot of need. And I was like, do you know, God, like, I have no idea how it's going to happen. And I understand that with my human mind, thinking who and needing to see evidences and needing to see, like, who is going to be and needing proofs. Like, I know I can't do a lot. And I know with all of that, I'm just creating resistance. I'm just like being like a lost puppy in the water who's like splashing and doesn't know what to do. I knew that I was like this, and I know that if I'm not open, if I don't allow God to do the work, if I don't allow God to like manage all the things so money can deliver to me, right, which is it was another part of me learning how to be my feminine, me learning how to stop obsessing, how to stop controlling, how to stop worrying, how to stop needing to know all the evidences, and me just like trusting and leaning into God, right? And I do remember how I lean into trust and I decided to trust, okay? And this was trusting, me staying open, me trusting God, me believing that God is going to deliver me this money, me believing that God is going to sort all of this out. You know, like, you need to feel it in your body actually. It's not just about, oh yeah, I'm trusting, but here I'm like this and worrying and I don't want to let go of control and it feels scary, it feels like this. No. Sorry, I usually have very sore throat, and if I'm talking like more than an hour, I need to do a pause, but I didn't want to do it. I was just like, let's fucking do this. So I'm feeling like a little bit. But yeah, I'm also going to be recording other videos as well, so I'm going to do a pause. Okay, so I was leaning into trust, I was leaning into faith. And what faith is, what trust is, it means being open, okay? Energetically, you're going to feel this openness in your heart, even though you don't see the evidences, even though there is a doubt, and you can lean into this doubt, but I leaned into the faith actually. Okay, like I leaned into the faith, and I just surrendered. I let go of control, I let go of worries. And there is like this very powerful meditation, like once you buy my course, like you're also going to get access to like private Telegram group with so many activations and also so many meditations. And there was this meditation that I did like a while ago that it was also like life-changing for me. It's just like letting go of the worries. And I remember, like, you can imagine God literally like telling you, like, it's not your job to worry, it's not your job to control, it's not your job to obsess, it's not your job to manipulate the things. Your only job is to decide what you want, okay, and to become available for this and lean back and trust me. Your only job is to trust me. Your only job is to trust me that I'm going to do the work. Okay, and this meditation will suit me so much, and I would just lean back in my feminine and I would allow God to do this stuff. And I know how hard this is for feminine women, right, to like lean back, to let go of control, because we are carrying so many wounds when it comes to masculine. Like, we don't trust the money, we don't trust the masculine, we don't trust the God. Like, there is so much trauma, and I'm very real, and I'm very honest with you. Like, I also needed to work with so many betrayal trauma when it comes to men, when it comes to money, when it comes to God. Like, I had God wounds, father wounds, man wounds, like you name it, I had it all. And I transmuted it all. Like, that's just what it takes to transmute it. And like, leaning back, I know it can feel so scary, like, oh my God, what if it doesn't happen? Like, I feel alone. Like, if I let go, who is going to catch me? Like, this was one of my biggest issues. Like, if I let go, if I lean back, like, who is going to catch me? You know, like, who is going to be there to catch me, to support me? Like, I've been betrayed, I've been let down before. And because you've been betrayed and, you know, like, let down before by men, by God, by your father, like, you know that it doesn't feel safe to do it again, right? You don't want to do it again. So it takes time to process this trauma so you can lean back. And I was processing that even before this moment. And now this was just a very pivotal moment for me, that, okay, like, probably, like, this is not your first video where you're watching how to manifest the money on a deadline, right? Or nothing like that. You were in self-development industry for a while now. Like, you've been listening podcasts, you read the books, and you heard about fate, and you heard that you just need to trust, but you actually have no fucking idea how to actually do this, right? So now I'm really like giving you real examples and explaining to you how to actually do it, because not a lot of people are actually practicing what they preach, and they're reading, but they don't understand what faith really is, because it's so much deeper than just trust. Right? It has to do with your relationship with money, your relationship with God, your relationship with the masculine, especially if you're a woman. And it feels like so hard to lean back. It feels like so hard to trust. It doesn't feel safe. So I needed to work on that traumas before, and I've done this. And now this was like very crucial, very pivotal moment for me in my career, in my soul purpose, in my journey as a soul, in my spiritual development. Like, this was one of the crucial points to like manifest 300 euros on a deadline. Oh, right? Like, it doesn't sound flashy, it doesn't sound like, wow, you did something amazing, but it was really like such a big and huge spiritual lesson that I've learned from this. And actually, later on, I've been manifesting bigger and bigger amounts of money, and also I'm teaching my clients, and I'm teaching you how to use this same trust, right, that I've done with 300 euros when it comes to 20,000, when it comes to 30,000, because the trust is always the same, the feeling is always the same, no matter what is the amount of money. And I do remember, like, instead of closing myself and going into doubt and worrying and control, like leaning back, leaning into trust and opening myself. And I do remember it was such a beautiful frequency to feel fully supported and allow God to support me and allow God to be there for me. And I'm not going to say there weren't the challenging moments, because they were no evidences at all. And then something else happened. Something else happened is that I lost my Wi-Fi connection, because there were some works on the road and they turned off my Wi-Fi. So I actually didn't have the Wi-Fi, and I do remember like trying to catch a Wi-Fi from a coffee bar next to me, and I did manage to post like certain slides on my stories about my offer, but then I couldn't just obsess and watch who reached out, who didn't. Like, I couldn't just watch all of that all day long. And I was like, oh, this is a test. This is a test. Now I know that there are no tests. It's just life happening. But back then, it really felt challenging to trust that it's going to happen, even though this stuff like this is happening, right? So many times when you are going to that next level, it's going to feel like a challenge. It's going to feel like a test. But actually, it's not a test, but you can use it as a very powerful portal. And I do remember, oh my God, I can't believe how my how my voice sounds. It's just, yeah, I lost my voice completely. Like, I can't record a lot of videos, and I can't talk a lot in one day. Yeah, so I was like, oh yeah, I see, this is a fucking test. And I was like, oh yeah, bring in more, baby, bring more tests, right? I was staying open. I was like, yeah, not a big deal. You're not going to mess up with me and with my energy, like, no. And no matter what, I stayed open. And do you know what happened? The date came in, 30 of April or May, it was something like this a couple of years ago. Nothing happened. Nothing happened. And again, I could go in doubt. I could close myself. I could blame God, and I could be like, do you see, like, this fucking stuff, it's not working? Like, why you're doing this to me, God? Like, this is not working. I'm again betrayed. I'm again lost. I'm here, like, don't know what to do. Like, I couldn't trust you, blah, 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 blah. But I haven't done any of that. Do you know what I did? I did remember one sentence. I did remember, like, one sentence from some coach who said, like, it's not a fate if it looks like it's not going to happen, and you trust it. And you continue to trust it. And you continue to believe it's going to happen. And I was like, oh, another test. Another fucking test, right? And I'm just getting so emotional how beautiful this is. And I decided, like, you know what? I trust you, God. I trust you. Do you know what? It can still happen. This was like this crucial sentence, this crucial moment. Like, it can still happen. Okay? When you lead yourself with a sentence, it can still happen. What do? You stay open. The day after, I was doing my stuff, I was doing my work, and I receive a message on WhatsApp from this guy that he's been looking, he's been watching my stories for a while, but he's not a coach. And I received a message from him. I actually didn't know it was him at first. And he just say, like, hi. And I was like, hi, where did you get my number? And he said, oh, I just bought your single session and I received an email from you. And in this email, there was your number in it. And I was like, oh my God, I can't believe it. And I didn't receive any notifications from Stripe or from PayPal. And I immediately went to check in, and there was 300 euros sitting on my fucking bank account. Mind-blowing. I was, what the fuck? You know, I was like, what the actual fuck? It wasn't on that same day. It was on the day after. And I was in such disbelief because this was my first time doing this. And I was like, I can't believe it. Like, I just can't believe it. Like, I was so, you know, in pleasant surprise. There was 300 euros. Not an exact day that I wanted, but on the day after. Because I didn't close myself. Because I didn't stop trusting on God, on me, on life. And this is like the whole point of this, is like you were so supported from the God. God is here for you. You're so supported. You are loved. You're taken care of. Like, God is going to do the work for you. Like, sometimes, like, you with your human limitations and human stuff, like, you can't see the bigger picture. Your ego is the one who needs to see the proofs, who needs to see the evidences, but your soul is just trusting. Your soul trusts God. Your soul trusts that she's going to be taken care of. She's going to be supported, that the stuff is going to be delivered to her. She trusts, right? She trusts this. And this is how I realized, like, oh my God, like, there is a power in me. Like, I can do this. Like, I learned how to trust. I learned how to trust God. I learned how to lean back. I learned so many things from this. It wasn't easy. I learned how to go through so many challenges and tests on the way, because you have heard so many times, oh yeah, like, challenge, you don't ignore it, but did you actually ignore it? Did you actually stay in the frequency and did you actually trust it? I don't think so, because otherwise you would see it as money on your bank account, right? So there is a lot of people who talk shit and stuff, but they're actually not walking the walk. They're not doing the work, right? So I learned so much from this just one experience. I learned so much. And then I was like, I've done it again, and I've done it again, and I've done it again. Okay, there is a formula for this, how to intentionally increase your income in a short period of the time. And then I helped my clients, and one client went from $5,000 per month for months to $20,000, right, in 30 days. We're talking cash. Another client went from making $5,000 to $8,000, right, per month for years to $17,500, right, in 30 days. We're talking cash. And then I realized, okay, I can do this on my own. I can help others do this. I have a formula. I know how to fucking do this. And then I decided to create my course, right? And there is a course, how to intentionally increase your income, how to make the exact amount of money you want on the exact date you want on a deadline, how to make more money from the need or from desire, whatever it is. There is a formula, there is literally step by steps, and I'm using this formula still because I'm finding myself, like being lost in clarity and blockages. And I took my own course and I'm on point. I took my own course and I'm like, oh yeah, now I'm on the right track, I'm on the right frequency. And it just happened very recently. And this month is going to be my highest cash month ever. I already know that, but I'm going to share this full story with you once it's done. But yeah, like if you want to learn how to do this, if you want to master all of these things, I highly recommend for you to buy my course, which is 555 euros. There are payment plans available, 2 payments of 300 euros. So there is like 6 videos, 6 lessons, each full of codes, full of transmissions, full of downloads, how to become this person, right? Who makes more, how to intentionally increase your income. It's so good. It's so good. So if you're interested, make sure to check the link, which is going to be left in my descriptions. There is also another ways how you can work with me as well. So make sure to check this out as well. And thank you so much for watching me. Thank you so much for supporting me. Thank you so much for being here. Like, this really means a lot to me. And we're going to see each other in the next YouTube video.